My friends, I am having a rough day. I am having a terrible day, and I'll tell you about it. And then we're going to talk about these, me apparently. Just kidding, but we're going to talk about these entitled, road raging, grumpy truckers that yell at fast food workers and all that stuff when we finally get to it. When I get through whatever I'm angry about, all right? This is another therapy session for me. I'm frustrated, man. I'm having a day. I got up bright and early, 2 a.m. to get into Dallas. I was like 3 hours away. So about 5 in the morning, guys, I'm rolling through Dallas. You know what Dallas was doing? Texas shit. Wrecking their cars at 5 a.m. That's right. Because why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't Texans get up early in the morning to go drive their car into another car? It's one of their favorite pastimes down here in Texas, and I shouldn't have been surprised. And it caused me to be late. But not late enough that it got me in any kind of trouble or anything. I didn't have to be worked in. I didn't have to pay a fine. As a matter of fact, I might not have been late at all. Nobody said anything. I sent a little message to dispatch letting them know what was going on, but nobody said anything, but it was a brokered load. You know how brokers like to fuck with us? You know how they never give us the right time on the loads? They always put it an hour earlier. Like, hey, you got to be there an hour earlier. And then you get there, like my appointment was 6 a.m. And it's entirely possible my appointment was actually 7, right? But who cares? I felt like I was late, which was their point. That's what the brokers wanted from me. They feed off they feed off of our anxiety. That's what brokers do. So anyways, no harm, no foul, no big deal, right? I pull up to this goddamn receiver and they got a sign that says pull over onto the side of the road, this small road that I'm still sitting on. I'll get to that in a minute, but I'm still sitting on. Anyways, and you have to check in online and park on the road that clearly says no parking everywhere. And they have, you know what they have? A big ass yard inside there. They could hold trucks, but you're not allowed in, not until they call you and tell you you can come in. So I passed the place, right? Because I'm like, now what? So I end up on this little road that I'm still on. Have I mentioned that? And I'm trying to find a place to turn around. To my left, I see some loading docks. I see one truck in there on this road. It's one of those places that you're looking at it as you're passing and you're like, it looks kind of small, but I think I got room to turn around in there, right? Get into it. Nope, miscalculated. I did not have the room to turn around in there at all. Lucky for me, there was another driveway straight across the road, so I just turned in there and then backed across the road and then turned myself around, went in, got checked in, and continued to sit on the road for them to finally unload me, and that's fine. That's part of the job. That's how it goes, right? For them to tell me that I have one case that was damaged, so they're rejecting it. You know what happens when there's one case that's damaged, so they're rejecting it? You sit here on the side of the fucking road until dispatch tells you what you're doing with it. And you know what they're going to tell me to do with it 6 hours from now when they finally figure it out? You know what they're going to tell me to do with it? Throw it in a dumpster somewhere. That's what they always tell you to do with it. That's it. That's what they always tell you. So, for those of you that don't know, when you have an overage, a shortage, or damage, you're not typically supposed to leave the property until the issue is resolved. I tried to tell the very polite lady working at the lumper service that, okay, I need a place to park then. Can I park in your parking lot? I asked her, and she said, nope, you have to leave. I said, well, I'm not really allowed to leave till this is resolved. She said, you have to go. I said, okay. So now I'm sitting here on this small street where traffic is having to go around me. This has been going on for an hour and a half now, and I've sent dispatch messages like, hey, I need to know something. I gotta move. I have to do something. And they're like, hey, we're waiting for an update. And I know goddamn good and well what that update's going to be. Throw it away. That's what it's going to be. It's busted open. This company is not gonna take it. I'm sitting here because of one goddamn box. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing today. So I figured, since I'm in a grumpy mood, I'll strike when the iron is hot and maybe make a fucking good video for you guys, because a lot of you guys say that's when I do my best work, when I'm already frustrated with everything. So here we go. Camera's on. Let's get to work. God damn it. Fuck. Okay. I want to talk It's a good thing I'm parked right now, right? A little time to calm down. I want to talk about just this crazy unprofessional way that I've seen a lot of truck drivers act. And I am turning into that old grumpy trucker, guys, but I'm not wrong. I'm finally starting to understand the circle of life. And what I'm trying to tell you is this industry has gone to shit. Everybody in it sucks. Fuck the rookies. I'm just kidding. I don't hate you rookies. But goddamn, there's a lot of people out there just making us all look like shit. And it's really starting to piss me off. You know how they say there's no crying in baseball, right? That's a saying. Believe it or not. I don't know why. Well, there's a lot of fucking crying in trucking. I'm doing it now on this video. I'm having a tantrum of my own. Because I'm allowed to, goddammit. Just like you're allowed to. But I'm going to make myself feel better. And hopefully make you guys feel better by talking about other shitheads that do shithead things, so we can forget that we do shithead things sometimes too, and we can deflect and we can blame them because they're not us. So fuck them, right? They're not us. So fuck them. First, I want to talk about these fucking psychopath, rageaholic truck drivers that have absolutely no business driving a truck. I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm also turning into that old trucker. There are a lot of people driving trucks that have absolutely no goddamn business being out here. None whatsoever, right? I introduced an idea, I don't know, a few months ago now, I don't really know. Should we do sort of a psychological evaluation on truckers to see if they are mentally fit to actually be truck drivers? And I know I rant and rave on my videos, and this is kind of my outlet, right? And I think that's a healthy outlet. Now it's starting to rain. God damn it. Just kidding. I don't care about the rain. I just hope you can still hear me because it's getting loud. I'll just yell louder. Fine. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. But this is kind of my outlet for you know, when I start to get frustrated and things, I just come on here and I yell at you guys for a while, make it your problem, alleviating all the stress from me and distributing it evenly amongst yourselves. And it's a good system, right? There's nothing wrong with that system. Perfect system. But believe it or not, when I'm driving the truck, I'm actually a very patient person. I've said it numerous times on mainly live streams when people bring up, don't those four-wheelers piss you off? No, they honestly don't. I mean, they do dumb shit. Sometimes you got to light a little fire under their ass, and when they merge onto the interstate at 45 miles per hour right in front of you and there's nowhere for you to go. I don't normally do it by trying to run them down on the road. I think that's probably a bad way to do it. A lot of times I'll try doing it like rapid flash of the high beams over and over and over. You know, hey, you need to fucking go. And if they're still being ridiculous, I'll get a hold of that air horn and light their asses up, right? Because you can't be merging onto the goddamn interstate at 45 fucking miles per hour. But to be honest with you, a lot of times the four-wheelers don't piss me off. They don't. They're amateur drivers, right? They're hobby drivers or whatever. Like, they're not trained and skilled professionals like us, right? But I had introduced this idea of maybe we need to do a little psychological evaluation to see if certain people have the temperament to be a truck driver. Now, I have been on the internet for a long time, my friends. I'm as old as the internet. I'm older than the goddamn internet. I'm probably not older then, but I didn't bother to check my history on that. Anyways, I've been around a long time, so I understand when I put ideas out to the world that there may be some pushback and people may disagree, and that's okay. That's part of having conversations. I didn't always know that, but I know that now, right? And obviously there were people pushing back on that idea. Some people agreed with it. And one of the biggest things, and honestly most frustrating things that I got said to me was, Josh, by doing this, you're pushing hardworking people out of jobs. Who are you to take jobs from people? And that was exactly my fucking point. Sorry if that's a dick thing to say, but there's people that should not absolutely have this job. They should not be truck drivers. Because it requires a great deal of patience and understanding and forgiveness. Forgiveness is a big one because people fuck up a lot out here. To be a good truck driver. Patience is fucking key out here, right? Oh God, out here is part of my vocabulary now. Used to make fun of that too. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. So I am sick to fucking death of watching all these aggressive truck drivers act like complete fucking assholes on the road because they're trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do. Like somebody's in your way. Yeah, unfortunately the roads and highways and interstates are like a shared system where we all get to use them. Yeah, it's not always fun, but someone's always going to be in your way. There's always someone out there not going the speed. But here's the thing I noticed about me. Once I get it in my head for the day, this is the speed I'm going to set my cruise control at for the truck. It varies, you know, the terrain up and down, shit like that, the weight of the load, things like that. You know, if I'm pulling 20,000 pounds, then I'll probably just run it at 70. Why not? I mean, my fuel mileage isn't going to be killed that much with that light of a load. Depending on timing, though, maybe I got plenty of time on the load, and I'll just run it at 65. But what I'm trying to tell you is when I get it in my head for the day, this is the speed I'm going to set the cruise at today, and I'm just going to roll down the road. If anybody fucks that up, it's like, what are you doing? Don't you know that I'm driving 68 today, motherfucker? And here you are doing 67? How dare you? The nerve of you to not understand what's going on in my head, you son of a bitch. And then that can be a little bit frustrating, right? But it is a shared system where we're all allowed to participate in it. And even though you do get a little bit frustrated, maybe running down a fucking family in their passenger car isn't the best way to do things. So there was actually a story I wanted to start with. I was near Chicago, right? Up north of Chicago. I believe, I don't remember what interstate I was on. I don't even remember, but I believe the speed limit was 55 in the area of the interstate that I was in. Me, I'm not a speeder. Let's say it was 55 and just call it good. Who cares? I'm not a speeder. I don't like unnecessary tickets. I think it's stupid to pay a fine because I couldn't just read a sign and see what it says, right? So, but when you start getting down there as low as like 55 or whatever, I might run at 58, 60, you know, kind of depending how things are going. So I'm running about 58, 60 down the right lane, right? Just cruising along like I do. I don't know what I was doing. I was definitely fucking trucking though. I can tell you that. I was definitely driving the fucking truck. And there's another trucker coming on to merge onto the interstate. So he's just to the right of me and he's going to merge onto the interstate. Now just to the left of me is another trucker that had been matching my speed for quite a while, right? In front of me is a car at a very safe distance that I'm following behind them. When the trucker merging on decides to match my speed, right? Now, there's a very, very important sign. We're truck drivers, guys. What the fuck? I'm big on reading the signs around me so I can understand what the fuck's going on, right? Like construction zones lately. Construction zones have a lot of signs that say all trucks use left lane. I'm normally the only shithead in the left lane while all these other trucks pass me and the trucker's scowling at me while they pass me on the right trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. I'm reading. What a goddamn concept. I'm reading. And I had read somewhere recently that the reason that that's going on is because this is just what I read on the internet, so that doesn't make it a fact, but they're doing construction and they're saying that right lane isn't supported enough to be handling the weight of the trucks at the time. I don't know if that's true or not, but there must be a goddamn reason for the sign, right? There must be. So I always move into that left lane. Anyways, the point with the goddamn signs is when you're merging onto the interstate, there is a very specific sign on all of the on-ramps that says yield. What does yield mean? Well, yield means that, there's probably a dictionary definition for it and I don't have it, but basically what that sign is saying is move onto the interstate when it's safe to do so, and also you have the yield sign, which means it is your responsibility to merge safely onto the interstate with the flow of traffic, right? That's the whole fucking concept behind it. So I'm cruising down the road about 58, let's say. I can't go to my left. There's another trucker to me. There's a car in front of me and I'm just going to hold my speed. You know why I'm just going to hold my speed? Because this other trucker is just matching me, the one that's trying to merge onto the interstate. He's just matching me. I don't have a yield sign. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I can't move left. And there's no reason for me to slow my truck down because he can't get in behind me or whatever. It's just the way of the road, guys. That's all there is to it. It's just the way of the fucking road. So you know what this shithead does? What his solution is? To match my speed all the way to the end of the ramp, lay on his air horn, flip me off, slam on his brakes, go around the back of me, not only around the back of me, but crossing across the back of the other truck that was matching my speed, or maybe I was matching his speed. Who fucking knows? Which one of us is the main character in this story? Me, I think. But this trucker goes all the way across those 2 lanes to the 3rd lane, all the way out on the left, whips around both of us, cuts us both off to get all the way back to the right lane. Just to, I don't know what the fuck his point was, but he just wanted to make a point, apparently, about how we were in his way. Oh, you poor baby. I read signs and I understand what they mean, but I am sick to fucking death of watching truckers act aggressive with trucks. What in the fuck are you doing? Yes, it's easy to get impatient as a truck driver, but what are you doing? I remember one time I was headed back home. I was working for a company in Salt Lake, and I actually had left my pickup in their terminal, right? So I was turning in the truck, and I was in my little pickup truck headed home across Wyoming, right? And you know where you got the two hills. Now a lot of truckers call them the sisters, because why wouldn't some of these inbred hillbilly truckers refer to the mountains that he's all over as the sisters? It always sounded a little bit inbreedy to me. Inbreedy. They call those maybe it's just because I'm a redneck, guys. Maybe it's a me problem. Maybe it's because I'm a fucking redneck that I'm like, oh yeah, the 2 sisters. That must be... I need to stop right there. I'm going to get myself in trouble here on YouTube. Damn it. I don't like to cut myself off anymore, but sometimes I'm going to go too far, and I had to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed the joke. Anyways, but I've seen it on the internet also called the Highway to Heaven, because when you're down at the bottom of it, it like shoots straight up into the fucking sky. It looks like, if you guys are familiar with it, it's out western Wyoming on I-80. Now, I'm going down that hill. There's trucks in front of me. I'm in my little pickup truck. I move to the left to pass those trucks. I'm going 85 down that fucking hill. And I was sick. I was very sick at the time. That's why I was going home. I was very, very ill at the time. So I was kind of a little bit cloudy, not gonna lie. But I'm going 85 down that fucking hill. When I look up into my rear view mirror, and what do I see? A big ass Kenworth sign right in the back window of my fucking truck, and a goddamn trucker barreling down on me, and I'm going 85 miles per hour. This is the biggest bunch of bullshit that I see out here. And here's where I'm gonna lose some of you. Here's where I'm going to lose some of you, but some of you are going to like me a little bit more. Anybody that uses their truck in that manner to run down, vehicles, passenger vehicles like that, and try to use their truck as a weapon or intimidate or bully or whatever they're trying to do, immediately pull that fucking CDL. Pull it. If that's how that fucking guy acts, he needs to be the fuck out of there. He needs to be out of there. I thought about it briefly. I'm like, I'm just going to smash this brake pedal and let nature take its fucking course at this point. Because, hey, maybe he would have been like found not at fault, but I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. Riding that close to me, I about was like, you know what? Let's fucking ride, motherfucker. I was very, very sick. I was, because I was sick for so long, I was in a really bad state of mind. Also, good thing I left the road at the time, right? But I was like, you know what? If I just lock these brakes up, well, my family won't be worrying about me fucking having a job anymore, because they'll be very well taken care of. I think they would have won that case. I think they would have, because that guy was being an absolute fucking menace. I thought about it, but I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Anyways, they got to take their licenses. They got to take their CDLs. Anybody on site, you see a fucking trucker acting like that, it's crazy, because we all talk this bullshit about a brotherhood of trucking, right? And we need to be looking out for everybody on the road. And you never know, that person in that car could be somebody else's family out here that's out here trying to truck and support them. And that's a very important message. But it doesn't even have to be someone else's family that's another trucker. It's somebody's family. It's somebody that someone else cares about, and you're out here trying to run their fucking asses down with your truck. Fuck you. I hate it. I hate when I see that. It makes my fucking blood boil. A car will be passing me because I'm always in the right lane. I'm a good little boy, you know, unless I'm passing someone. But then a truck comes right behind them, fucking 2 feet off their fucking back bumper. And I think there's no place for that kind of behavior in trucking at all. I don't get it. So we got to get rid of those shitheads. I want to talk a little bit too about some other shitheads, the ones that are out there verbally abusing fast food employees. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, there used to be a time when that was, like, I guess, like, considered a cool thing to do, or like the right thing to do, or whatever. Sorry, Dad watches the videos, but Dad used to like to yell at the fast food workers a lot too. I don't know if he still does. He probably does. And that was sort of that generation. They just really liked lighting up a fast food worker. They looked forward to it, I think. They were really excited to get their order wrong because they're like, oh, that little son of a bitch. It's my time now. I'm going to tell him something. Those days are gone. When you yell at fast food workers, you just look like a fucking dipshit now. Like, absolutely, completely fucking foolish. Out there acting like a goddamn idiot because your order's wrong. Chill the fuck out, fucking candy ass motherfucker. Look, if the order's wrong, walk up there and be a fucking adult, right? And say, hey, this isn't what I ordered. Can I get, you know, my order? They're going to fix it. There's no reason to be aggressive to a fast food worker. None whatsoever. And the reason I bring this up is for a couple reasons. I mean, we see it over and over. I haven't seen it for quite a while. I have a minor situation that I was close to recording, but it didn't escalate. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But for the most part, I haven't seen it for a while. If I do, oh, I'm recording that shit and I'm putting it on YouTube. You're gonna act like a fucking crazy person, and I might annoy that person a little bit too that's in there yelling at the fast food worker. I'm recording them, and I might tell them something like, hey, why don't you knock it off? Leave them alone, right? And it's not like somebody's gonna kick my ass at the truck stop because I told them to leave the fast food worker alone. Highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. So I'm kind of getting to that point. Next time I see it, I just might call it out. I might record you guys a fucking hilarious video of some boomer ass motherfucker just acting ridiculous in the truck stop, because a lot more people need to speak up in this situation and say, hey, that's not okay. Like, be an adult. Tell them what you need. Use your fucking words. How about that, right? But I was in Arby's or something, whatever our normal chains in are at the truck stops. It was morning. I was getting breakfast. Does Arby's do breakfast? It doesn't matter where I was at. It doesn't matter. But I'm just standing there waiting for my food, you know, and some guy walks up and he like kind of slams his bag down on the counter, and the lady working at the counter is like, can I help you, sir? And he goes, well, apparently the chef back there doesn't know the difference between sausage and bacon, because I asked for sausage and I got bacon. All of that was unnecessary. Absolutely all of it was completely unnecessary. Hey, I asked for sausage and I got bacon. Can you guys fix that? Would have worked just fine, right? So she does what she has to do, you know. I'm sorry, sir, we'll fix it for you right away, right? And that was kind of the end of it, except he just stood up there shaking his head the whole time, waiting for a sandwich. Can you believe these guys? No, I can believe them just fine. People make mistakes. We're not fucking robots. What I can't believe is you, motherfucker. That's what I can't believe is you. Why are you fucking acting like this? And it's just a shitty fucking way to treat people. Like, we live on the road, guys, right? We may not necessarily like the attitude or personalities of people in these truck stops. I fucking don't. I don't. I went to buy something, I think it was this morning. And I walked up the counter and I said to the girl working there, I said, hey, how you doing? And she didn't say anything. And she rang my stuff up, and then she told me the amount, and I handed her some cash. And then she handed me my change. And I had like 3 things, so I was like, can I get a bag? And she didn't say anything, and she put my stuff in the bag. And then she hands me the bag, and I said, thank you, and she didn't say anything. She was being a very shitty person, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But the point I'm trying to make is we depend on these people to help us survive. You know, the showers aren't always cleaned as much as we'd like them to be, but they got us a clean shower, right? They got us clean towels in there waiting. I really, 10 years into it, I haven't started bringing my own towel. So I use the same towel that the rest of y'all have all over your balls, and then I put it on my balls. And I think we might as well just start touching tips in the truck stop is what I'm saying. We're already most of the way there. We're all sharing towels at this point. We might as well get a little fun out of it, right? You know what I'm saying? But we depend on these people to help us survive out there. And what impression are we giving them of us? And not that it matters. Like, nobody's in the comments going, yeah, I want to impress a fast food worker. Maybe if she's hot, right? Maybe. But other than that, no one gives a shit, right? But just, we're not the professionals we claim to be, is the fucking point. And the last story I want to touch on that is a friend actually sent me a picture of just this fucking lard-ass, big, dumb-looking fucking trucker, right? In some restaurant, some sandwich shop at a truck stop, right? And the guy had a very, very like aggressive stance in the picture that my friend sent me. Like, he's got one hand on the counter and he's leaned forward and he's just got this fucking scowl on his face. And so my friend's giving me like some backstory. He's like, so this dude's in here and he's like losing his shit on the lady in here making the sandwiches. And the lady making the sandwiches is like 75 years old. There's a bunch of us in here waiting for a fucking sandwich. And he is absolutely losing his shit because it's taking too long. If I were to guess what happened in that situation is he was probably already running late. But the goofy bastard was like, well, I better stop for a sandwich. Well, yeah, we all get hungry, but you need to take into account that shit might be slow in there, right? That it's not going to go the way you think it is. Just because you walked in, princess, everybody isn't going to get out of your fucking way and make sure your sandwich gets done first, because we're all running on a schedule. First come, first serve, bitch. And that's the way it's gonna work. But yeah, my friend was like, it's just really shitty to watch, man. Like, I mean, this dude's in here yelling at elderly women because he wants his sandwich done right fucking now. And I guess the whole point of the fucking video is, like, you guys can see I'm having like a bad day. It's not like the worst day ever. It's just frustrating as fuck. And we're allowed to have those. We're allowed to have those bad days because we're fucking truck drivers, and it's almost always something, right? There's always something going on. But when we start taking that out on everybody around us, then we're in the fucking wrong. You know, we're doing it the wrong fucking way, and it's time for us to stop fucking treating everybody like shit. But more importantly, it's not so much about treating them like shit. It's more about putting their lives at risk with our fucking trucks. That's crazy, and I stand by what I said earlier. Anybody using their truck like that in that aggressive manner shouldn't be out here on the road with the rest of us, should not be out here on the road with our fucking families, and just, they have no right. Give that motherfucker a job running a forklift somewhere, leave him alone by himself. Well, that sounds a little too dangerous too. I don't know what we could do. I don't know what we could do with that guy. If you guys got any good job suggestions for overly aggressive truck drivers, throw it in the comments. That's it. I feel better now. Thank you so much. Now I just feel tired. I could take a nap. Bye, guys.